was surprised with this award. It's just remind me of what's happening in Bahrain after 14 February, the uprising. The government built, or the regime built, again, not peace wall, sectarian wall to divide the Shiite villages from the Sunni places, so they remain in the power in Bahrain. Again, I'm sorry, I have to warn again that there are some graphic pictures. I don't want to show them, but to know the fact in Bahrain, I'm sorry, I have to show you. It's not all what we have in Bahrain. It's just what the camera could touch it or show. The corruption is everywhere. Everything is just by the rulers in Bahrain, done by their decision and their motives. There is no law, there is nothing. So on 14 February, people of Bahrain went peacefully into the street, asking for equal, for right of, based on the United Nations principles. And in 17 March, Bahrain being occupied by Saudi Arabia, and the martial law was signed and announced by the king, which is the current king. And here is what's happening after the 17 March. This is the theme of Bahrain Revolution. They are saying, Yasqut Hamad. Hamad is the king of Bahrain. They are shouting, down, down Hamad. But this shouting could cost you in prison from 6 months to 3 years, because His Majesty is not touchable. You cannot criticize the king, you cannot talk about his money, you cannot talk about anything about him. He is untouchable. If you scream in the street with down, down Hamad, it will cost you from 6 months to 3 years. And it's a law in the criminal law in Bahrain. People start to shouting this after the bloodshed happened in the street. I will give you some statistic about how the freedom of Bahrain happened. We have more than 25 bloggers arrested, tortured, sentences since February 14. This is until the end of 2012. 200 journalists, bloggers, and cameramen either been tortured, kidnapped, killed. 25 foreign journalists banned from entering Bahrain, including Nick Christoph from New York Times. 6 NGOs focusing on freedom of expression banned from entering Bahrain, including Reporters Without Borders and Freedom House. 6 tweets charged, including the insulting the king and sentences. This was before just 1 week, and another 6 being just in a few, I think last week they've been charged with 1 year, so the total will be 12, just for tweets, and the government is translated as it's insulting the king. Nabil Rajab, one of the famous human rights defenders in the world, and he is the icon of the revolution in Bahrain. Once he posted this tweet in his Twitter account, and he got 2 years in jail because of it. It's just criticizing the Prime Minister. By the way, we have the longest Prime Minister in the world. He is in power since 43 years old. We cannot ask him, we cannot judge him, we cannot change him. And all corruption and killing and torture was happening under his hand. And no one can criticize him or ask him to step down because he is supported by the rulers in Bahrain. So Nabil Rajab was talking about the Prime Minister, and he is asking him to leave an island called Maharrak because no one love you. They are coming to you because of the money, not because they love you. Nabil Rajab got 2 years in jail because of this tweet, and he is still in jail. This is another tweet from Sayyid Yusuf al-Mahawi. He is a human rights defenders working with the Bahrain Center for Human Rights. He was reporting this picture. This is in one of the peaceful demonstrating in Bahrain. They shoot him with a bird shot, and the only thing Sayyid Yusuf did it is to put this picture in his Twitter account. They put him in jail for 1 month. Then they find him that he is innocent, and they release him. 135 journalists and media specialists being fired from their work. This is the worst thing happened after 14 February, that all those who work in the media from a specific sector being fired and kicked out from either from the television or from the newspaper or magazine, or even from the sport magazine, which doesn't link to a politics. 3 died, 2 from torture and 1 martyr. This guy, his name is Karim Fakhrawi. He owns a bookshop in Bahrain. The bookshop is about 200 to 300 meters from my house. I know this guy since 25 years old. I was young, and I used to go to his bookshop to see the books that I didn't read it yet, so I want to read them. The first book I bought it from my pocket was from his bookshop. He was a kind guy, had a big heart. I shocked when I heard his news. One day they stormed his house. He wasn't there, so he went to the police station asking why you are storming my house. It was during the martial law when the army was controlling the country. After a few days, they called his family and asked them to come and receive Karim Fakhrawi. If you see that, he's really handsome, and if you know him, you will love him because of his attitude. But his family received him like this, and I'm sorry for the pictures. The mark of torture was clearly in his body. The government said in his death certificate that he died from the kidney failure. Will you blame anyone if he shouted down, down, Hamad? Few days later, this guy, his name is Zakaria al-Ashiri. This is him with his kids. Just before a few days from his arrest, he wrote in his Twitter account, the translation of what he wrote is, I am a human before I've been Shiite. They stormed his house because he was working as an online forum in Bahrain. After a few days, they called his family to receive him. There is less than a week between Fakhrawi and Zakaria al-Ashiri. Again, the mark of torture was clearly in his body. And in that certificate, they said he died from sickness. The third one of the youth, his name is Ahmed Ismail. He's fan of the Formula 1 race, and he used to go to the circus in Bahrain. I'm sure most of you, if you follow the Bahrain news, you know how it's important, the Formula 1, either for the regime or for the opposition. One day he received the threat that they will kill him from a pro-government thug. The next day, they did what they threatening to do, and sorry about the pictures. Abdulhadi Khawaja, he's one of the human rights defenders in Gulf and in Bahrain especially. He said once, if you want to know the situation of the human rights in any country, see where the human rights defenders are. It's really nice. So let's see. Abdulhadi Khawaja is in the left. He is serving life sentence in jail because he was accused of being plotting to overthrow the regime. I'm in the middle. I was 2 years in hiding and now I live in exile. Nabil Rajab, we were just talking about him. He is in jail right now and he's banned from visiting because he witnessed by his eyes before just 1 week that they are torturing 8 young people inside the jail, and he asked for the Red Cross to come to the jail to explain to them what he witnessed with his eyes. So he is now not allowed to call, not allowed to for any visit. This is my family.
Hello. My name is Jinan. I'm Arabian. I'm mother for 3 kids. Murtala, Ali. He is 6 years old. He's very much attached to his dad. And I have Zafa and Sarah. They are 2 years old. But they want to know that they are not used to.
This is my family. I have these twins. They born in February 2009, 2010. They born in 2010, February 2010. And I've been arrested in September. And since that, I was between jail and hiding. They were 6 months when I lived there. Now they are 3 years. I didn't live with them. And here's my son. This is my son. A lot of people asking me why I'm doing what I'm doing. We know Bahrain is so hard and the rulers won't give anything for you, so you are just paying too much high cost. You will lose your... I'm accusing now for 15 years. I'm charged, sentences to 15 years. Why I'm doing all of this and losing my family, losing my life? Well, in fact, I'm doing all of this because of this son. I don't want him to live in the fear that I used to live in it. We grow up in fear. I don't want my son or my kids to live in that fear. I want him, if he grow up, he deserves any position, he can get it because he is qualified, not because he know any ruler. So for the new generation, I'm doing, and all the people of Bahrain is doing all they can for a better future for our country.